All right, I'm just going to go through a couple of problems. This is modeling with quadratics. So we're either, for the most part, we're trying to make our own quadratic function that's going to match the scenario. In some cases, we're also just taking the quadratic function that we're given and trying to get as much information out of it as we can. There are some items that are good to know, or kind of I find them interesting. I think they're kind of fun to figure out, that we actually won't learn how to solve until the next chapter. But anyway, so starting with this one. Baseball player is standing some distance from the edge of the upper deck. We don't know how far, apparently. That is 20 feet above the baseball field. He throws a ball into the air for the fans sitting in the upper deck. Answers part A and B below. So far, we only have part A. Write a quadratic function, y equals h of x. So h of x equals something that can be used to determine the height of the ball if it is thrown at an initial velocity of 35 feet per second and an initial height of 6 feet. You can pause the video and come back to it. I think that's always a good idea. I'm going to point out that we need our vertical motion model, which is h of x equals negative 16x squared plus v0 times x, in this case, plus h of 0. And then we have that information. Our initial velocity is 35 feet per second, and our initial height is 6 feet. So our equation, all we're doing for this part is we're plugging in our initial velocity and our height. So h of x equals negative 16x squared plus initial velocity was 35 feet per second, 35x plus 6 feet. And that is really all there is to part A. Sorry, that's negative 16. Just a reminder to kind of break this apart. The negative 16x squared, when you throw something, it tends to come back down, right? And that's, if we didn't have gravity, that wouldn't happen. We wouldn't have this minus 16x squared. What it really is, that negative 16x squared has to do with the acceleration due to gravity. So how fast the Earth is pulling against that ball that you're trying to throw into space. That's where that negative 16x squared comes from. That's why it's always in this equation. And that's in feet per second squared. And that's your x squared. Anyway, so that is that one. And we'll go on to the next one.